Can you imagine morning rush hour traffic? They get to this point and then suddenly there's a swimming pool in the road. Normally this is something that you'd see in Manila City. It's not quite as common here in Quezon City, especially on a major road like 20th Avenue. I just heard the lady across the road shouting, "Hey, MMDA!" because the car is parked on the sidewalk. This road has become very narrow because of all the parked vehicles on both sides. I don't know if the enforcer realized that someone just jumped inside the vehicle. They might try to drive away. Oh, now he has his hands full. There's an extra passenger on that motorcycle, no crash helmet. Okay, nearly drove away, but the enforcer was able to handle it. Of course, there's also motorcycles parked on the sidewalk, so those are also being issued tickets. You see lots of people walking in the road because of illegally parked vehicles. Over here, you'll see they're hooking up to an owner-type Jeep. They're going to tow it away to clear the road. There's a lot of children walking around this area, and they're all being forced into the road. Anyway, you see the towing crew sitting on this one already. They'll push this over to the tow truck to clear the sidewalk. And if you're wondering, yes, it's the same on the other side of the street. They're also issuing tickets to illegally parked vehicles. So many school children, all of them forced to walk in the road. That's a recipe for disaster. This tricycle has a little doggy on top. Probably not the safest way to transport the dog, to be honest. And of course you might be wondering, well, how about signages? Yep, lots of signs. And now the rain is coming down so heavily, that will make things even worse, because it'll be harder for drivers to see children walking in the road. The car that was in such a rush to try and leave earlier actually decided to just stay there once they got their ticket, but that's not the way it works. Instead of getting towed, you have to drive it away yourself. That's the agreement. You can't just take a ticket and then stay there. And this is reality, rain or shine, they need to be on the road. There are signs on both sides of this street saying no parking. You'll see there are a lot of vehicles parked here. One of the drivers already came out, so as long as he shows his license, it's only a ticket. And it looks like another driver came out now in his underwear. So far no drivers come out for this one, so it might actually get towed away. Some of the drivers that came out aren't willing to show a license. If they don't show one soon, the vehicle would just be towed away instead.
Siya naman umami, sir, nasabi niya expired daw yung lisensya niya. So, paano ko po titikita? Sabi ko, may baka pa bang
parang driving without license ka na.
Hindi po, yung kapatid ko po kasi sir yung sumundo po sa amin. Dahil talaga po ng mga guard sir, sinundo po kami.
Last yung kapatid.
Wala raw, sir.
Hindi po, papunta pa, pabalik na nga po sir.
Boss, hindi namin natin eh. Kaya we're only giving.
Kaya nga po sabi ko sana sir, baka po sana po pwede.
Hindi lang kasi itong operations namin.
Of course, if this enforcer was to let it go and pretend he doesn't know the license is expired, and then the driver has an accident, he'll be the one responsible. Because they'll say, look, you ticketed this guy an hour ago. Why did you let him go if you know he doesn't have a valid license? So anyway, the vehicle's going up now. And it seems like they already resolved the standoff with the pickup truck. That's the problem if the driver comes out, but it's too late. Because of course they would say, hey, don't take the vehicle. The problem for the MMDA is as soon as they clamp something to the vehicle, they consider it as too late, basically. What you'll see here is people walking in the road. Why? Sidewalks obstructed by this vehicle. The sidewalk's even painted in red to remind you. As long as the driver shows a license, it'll just be a ticket instead of being impounded. And actually there were a couple more vehicles further along the street that also got ticketed. And this lady rider was flagged down for driving in slippers. She already handed over her license, so it's a 500 peso ticket. There are a lot of vehicles parked here, but only one of them is obstructing the sidewalk. And since there's no driver, it's being hooked up to a tow truck. Right now they're on 20th Avenue issuing tickets to illegally parked vehicles. Many people have been running out of a nearby condo building and trying to leave before they get a ticket. You'll see that not only are they considered to be illegally parked in the road, but they're also obstructing a PWD wheelchair ramp. Same with this one over here, parked directly next to the wheelchair access ramp. You will notice that some enforcers are wearing raincoats because it was raining very heavy all night and some of this morning. Anyway, they write out the tickets and I can see some of the tow trucks starting to appear in the background. And because of the rain, the tickets have been put in a plastic bag under the windscreen wiper, so of course they won't get damaged by the rain. This driver did come out and show their license, so they can drive away with just a ticket instead of being impounded. And up goes one of the SUVs now onto the flatbed. You'll see the towing crew making their own video to document any damage on the vehicle and the lifting process, because they're about to take this one away. Same thing over here, towing crew making their own video, taking photos of damage and connecting to both of these vehicles. Can you imagine morning rush hour traffic, they get to this point and then suddenly there's a swimming pool in the road? Normally this is something that you'd see in Manila City. It's not quite as common here in Quezon City, especially on a major road like 20th Avenue. It looks like the sidewalk clearing team will actually be confiscating the swimming pool. Although most of the time, if they sign a document that says they won't put it back in the road, they can collect it back from the dumping area. The enforcer said that someone just gave birth, and I got worried for a moment because I thought they were pointing at the trash can. I thought I was about to see something awful. But no, actually it's a nice moment. There's a lady inside there, and apparently she gave birth inside this carton or carton. And right now the team are looking at all of these buses obstructing the sidewalk for pedestrians. Apparently the drivers aren't here, so they can't move them and they can't show a license. I guess they really don't have enough space at their terminal, because even this gas station became an extension of their terminal. I think they found a driver for at least one of the buses, so that can be moved off the sidewalk. Actually, if you go here later in the day, this whole area is a nightmare, especially with the taxis making a terminal in front. Very nice motorcycle, but no plate and no parking space apparently. The team are now on 19th Avenue, where the barangays say they have a one-side parking ordinance. The thing that confuses me is that someone installed signs here saying reserved parking for senior citizens. They installed signs over there that say reserved parking, residents only. But according to the barangay prior coordination and coordination on the ground today, they said it's only a one-side parking ordinance. And I'm pretty sure that should be residents, not residents. But I guess you get the idea. Some drivers have come out, meaning it's only a ticket. If there was no driver, he would get towed away to clear the road. There's quite a lot of cars getting ticketed. And I'll show you, there is a sign over there, just above this vehicle. It says no parking this side. You'll see the enforcers hiding under that tiny bit of roof to protect his ticket book, because if their tickets get damaged, lost, destroyed, they have to pay for each one. Even if it was rain damage, they're liable for that. It looks like someone actually painted over this sign, which they shouldn't really do, because this is officially government property issued by MMDA. It's meant to say no parking anytime, but someone changed it to no dumping of garbage. They should have installed a sign next to it, not overwritten the original sign. Bad timing for this rider. He just arrived now. No crash helmet, no shoes. So there you go, he just handed over the license now, issued a ticket, and then he'll have to push the bike. There's a couple of motorcycles being ticketed over here for parking on the sidewalk. It does look like they have space inside, but a lot of the time people prefer to use sidewalks and roads instead of consuming space inside their own home. And there's one more vehicle being ticketed over here, but there is a driver, so no need to tow it. And a few more vehicles over here also being ticketed.